If you're sick of roller coaster dieting and are ready to look and feel your best, unlock that stuck metabolism, love your body again, and experience real and lasting results while never having to diet again, there's only one place to be: the Achievement Coaching with Coach Brett podcast, with your host, 30-year fitness and weight loss expert, Brett Reisenhuber, covering pro-metabolic nutrition, expert training methods for any level, developing an unbreakable mental makeup, kick-ass foods, cooking techniques, wine, and cocktails, and insights into helping you design and live your best life. So put in your earbuds, grab a hot or cold drink, and let's get rocking. Hey, and welcome to the Achievement Coaching Podcast with Coach Brett. I'm your host, Coach Brett Reisenhuber. Having an awesome time here. I'm actually loving doing this podcast. I'm going to be honest. I have thought about doing a podcast for probably a decade. And in moving and transitioning from owning a brick and mortar personal training facility, transformation center, boot camp, from 97 until they shut us down in 2020, March 24th of 2020. COVID shut down my gym, and I decided to make a transition in my life. So I moved to Rockland to be near my grandson and start up a new chapter of my life with my family. And now I'm doing a podcast 2 years after that. So I'm pretty stoked. Today, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking chicken and change, or body transformation when we're looking at the change. Let's go ahead and start out with weight loss and body transformation. Then we'll get into chicken. So when we're talking about weight loss is a massive, massive industry. And I've been part of that industry since 1991. And I've always focused on weight loss myself. And with the pandemic and all the changes, I decided to make some changes in my life for myself. And instead of the traditional focus of weight loss from the outside, and that's all we're looking at. And when you're looking at weight loss, you're looking at outside. And sometimes you think, oh, okay, well, I lose weight, I'm going to be healthier. Well, first off, is that even true or not? Who knows? I do, actually. I have some great concepts on that. But the point here is when you're looking at it from purely, we can call it a vanity standpoint, right? And there's nothing wrong with some vanity here and there, right? I mean, we want to be happy with ourselves. We want to be happy with our bodies. But when we're only looking at it from the outside or that number on the scale, and that dictates everything and rules our lives, it's not generally going to be the thing that's going to lead us towards a true healthy body transformation. So the way that I look at things now and what I coach my clients on is let's look at weight loss and body transformation from the inside out and change our perspective. Yes, we still want the weight loss. Yes, we want the body fat loss. Yes, we want to be leaner. We want to see our muscle definition and our muscle tone. But if we put our health first and allow the transformation of the outside to just happen because it's the natural way that it's going to go, we've now changed around our entire outlook on our lives. And I'm going to be honest with you. What I've seen from myself, I've seen with my clients, is people are happier when they're not focused on that number on the scale. People are happier when they take pride in their body and what they're doing. And people are happier when they feel better. People are happier when they sleep better. People are happier when they work on their mental makeup and change things around to allow them not to be distracted by all the negativity and to push it away from them, or just straight up throw it in a hole, throw it in a garbage can, throw it in the dump. Me personally, some of my mind makeup trainings that I put myself through include throwing all the bad stuff into a pit, and it works for me. So you got to find what works for you. And that's what we'll be working on. That's one of the things we'll be working on here in the podcast, which is awesome. So let's think about it from the perspective of, if we make a shift and don't just focus on eating boiled chicken breasts, egg whites, and styrofoam cakes, and so much green that it makes you nauseous and make you turn green. What if we looked at it from a perspective of, let's get the body healthy. Let's fix all the damage that we've done to our metabolism, and make no doubt about it, the foods that generally speaking are consumed in this country, and I'm not even just talking like fast food, I'm talking about the foods you get at the supermarket. They have issues that will degrade and slow your metabolism, slow down your thyroid, and it makes losing weight really hard. So if we look at it from a perspective of, let's heal the inside of the body while we're getting the weight loss done and not focus in on the weight loss, and let's also build up our mindset so that we're happy with who we are as people, as an individual, as a person, as a man, as a woman, you're going to enjoy your transformation so much more. And you don't have to kill yourself in the gym. You don't have to be on a diet. You don't have to do 500 hours of cardio every week, or every day, crazy amounts of cardio. So let's think about it from this perspective right now. Patience. If you have gained weight, if you are overweight, if you have too much fat, if you don't like it, fine, we can do something about it. But let's start off by saying, hey, guess what? This did not happen quickly. This did not happen fast. This took time to put on all of this weight. And the concept everybody wants to go with is the quick fix diet. What's the fastest way to lose weight? Well, you didn't put it on fast. You're not going to take it off fast and be healthy. You already put it on over time and in an unhealthy way. So what if you took your time and said, I'm just going to make the change and let it happen? Because trust me, when you follow the kind of program that I teach, that we're going to talk about here, you're going to see results. We're going to increase the metabolism. It's a pro-metabolism nutrition, pro-metabolic nutrition, however you want to refer to it. And there's a lot more to it than just that. That is just one component of what we do. We still want to have the weightlifting. We want to have the proper supplementation, not all the crap they sell at GNC and everything else. And we definitely got to build up the right mental makeup, right? And I don't like calling it mindset because it's just overblown with that word out there. But we want to have the way that we make up our mind be different. So starting off with patience. It took time to get here. Let's take the time to take it off. When we change around our nutrition so that the body's metabolism increases, your body burns more calories. It's a little warmer. It is happier. It is resting better and sleeping better at night, thus facilitating recovery and burning the majority of fat while you sleep, not while you slave away in the gym, because you do not need to slave away in the gym. In fact, it's healthier to burn your carbohydrates while you're working out and burn your fat at rest. And I know that's a tough one to grasp at first. It's the truth. So if you shift it around and say, I'm going to work on myself from the inside with my nutrition, with my mind makeup, you're going to see changes that may take a little bit more time, but they're going to be more valuable and they're going to last. And it's going to be something that is going to take you out of the traditional yo-yo roller coaster diet program where I'm on a diet. Well, now I'm off the diet. I'm on a diet. Now I'm off the diet. Now I'm binging. When you deprive your body of, in some instances, entire macros like carbohydrates. I have no carbohydrates in my diet. And I said, I feel sorry for you because your brain works for shit and you probably feel like shit. Your body needs the carbohydrates. And, and I've been there. Honestly, man, I've been down to 15 grams of carbohydrates a day, right? I felt like shit too. I mean, that's just the facts. That's just the way that it is. When you do it where you're making changes and eating foods that you really do love, and foods that you used to think were taboo, man, you are happy. Girlfriend, you happy. It's awesome. I love milk. I've always loved milk. But if you're out to lose weight in traditional diets, you do not drink milk. Well, milk is really good for you. And there's a lot of people, I can't have milk because my body doesn't like it. Well, maybe there's a reason your body doesn't like it. Maybe it's because some stuff is messed up in there and it's fixable. What about orange juice? I can't tell you how many times I've been on vacations where I say, no, I ain't having orange juice. Bring me water or Diet Coke, which has got to be a really, really, really one of the shittiest things to put into your body, but I loved it. I drank Diet Coke all the way up to a year ago, and I'd buy it by the case, sometimes a couple of cases. Orange juice, never. And I've found that when you consume and drink orange juice, not from concentrate, with no pulp, your body likes it, and it's good for your body. And you can do something as simple as adding some collagen, grass-fed collagen into your orange juice, and it helps to balance out that whole blood sugar thing that people will freak out about with. So when you're able to consume things like that, it makes life much more enjoyable than having to focus in on a diet. I'll give you a concept here. Take a look at it. Here, I did my workout this morning, and for a quote, pre-workout drink, I did the same thing I do every morning. I didn't change anything. Fired up a cup of coffee. I put some sugar in it. I put some cream in it, and I drank a glass of milk with it. And now I've got everything that I need. So I had my carbohydrates, I had my caffeine, I had my fat, I had my protein. I put collagen in there too. I put collagen in my coffee, and I was good. I would have been better if I'd had a little bit more breakfast, because my stomach started going off in the middle of my training, and I'm like, okay, so now I need to know that I need to make another change, and I need to go back to having something else before I train. So I came home and I fired up a glass of milk and a glass of orange juice with collagen and beef gelatin. And I had a nice big slice of sourdough toast with some raw grass-fed butter, some full-on honey with the comb mixed in with it, and some organic peanut butter. And I feel great. I didn't overeat. I was satisfied. I'm totally good. Other days I might have eggs, but this is how I structured the morning, and I'm great. And now I'm doing this, and you can tell. If you can't tell, I have energy, and I'm also having another cup of coffee. It's good stuff. And in my coffee, once again, cream and some gelatin. I'm also not getting the bad impact from coffee messing with my blood sugar because of the way it's being consumed with the collagen, the cream, and the foods that I've already consumed. So what I'm trying to get at here is, if we look at change from the inside out and enjoying the things that we take into our body, the body is going to change. We're going to feel better. And as we heal that metabolism that's been damaged, we're going to be looking better too. So we'll start with feeling better, move towards looking better, all right? If you went through, let's say, the entire pandemic and you ate like crap and you were on the seafood diet where, hey, I see it and I ate it, and you're drinking a lot and all that kind of stuff, understand that took time. That took time to change your body in the way that it's changed during that time. If you gain the weight, let's say there's been about 2 years, right? Let's say that you gained weight over 2 years. How smart is it to expect to lose it in 2 weeks or 2 months? Doesn't really make a lot of sense. But if you say, hey, I'm going to lose this weight, I'm going to change around all the damage I did during that pandemic, I'm going to feel good, then I'm going to look good, that's going to be awesome. So that is it right now for today on weight loss and body transformation. Now let's be talking chicken. Most people who go on traditional diets get sick of chicken because they eat boneless, skinless, boring ass chicken breasts all the time. And I've been there too. I remember saying, I don't ever want to eat chicken again, but I like chicken. I just don't like plain old dried out, boring chicken breasts. In fact, I'd rather eat chicken thighs. You say, oh, I can do that on my keto program. Okay, well, once again, we'll go back to the previous thing, but we're ruling out an entire macronutrient and the body not designed to go that way. So let's move on to chicken and let's talk whole chicken. I am going to actually be making this recipe tonight for my wife and myself and my grandson. We're having a 3-day sleepover while our daughter goes on a little trip. So I'm going to be taking care of the boy and feeding him some darn good food. So let's talk about this chicken. First off, we want to talk about the type of chicken that we want to consume and why. First off, when we're doing our chicken, I guess we kind of call it 3 different levels of chicken out there. We got the standard crappy chicken that you find everywhere. And then you've got kind of a mid-range chicken when it comes to those saying, maybe it's range fed or even, grass fed. And then you've got your full-on organic, free range, open source chicken. When you're looking at standard regular chicken, you're looking at chickens, generally speaking, that are raised in pens, that they're just packed in there. They're eating their own feces, if not each other. The foods that they're feeding them are everything from GMO, genetically modified foods. And that could be soy, it could be corn, wheat, grains, any kind of really shit that they feel like feeding them, they can feed them. And then that's what the chicken grows up with in its body. And of course, they're giving them drugs, make sure that they don't get sick on this shitty diet that they're being fed. And then they come to us and we eat them. So if you're thinking you're eating healthy because you're eating plain chicken, you're eating chickens that were treated like crap, fed crap, literally, and you think your body is going to become healthy from that. And that math does not add up. When you move to the next level that I was talking about, it's a little bit better, but they still may be fed in that free range, all kinds of garbage and drugs and everything else. So where you want to get to ideally will be a range-fed organic chicken. Might cost a little more, but trust me, you are worth that little extra expense. What happens with the chickens in this instance? Why are they better for us? Very simple. Chickens are supposed to be outdoors in the sun, eating bugs and seeds and, whatever else chickens pick up off the ground. And they're not supposed to be fed GMOs, corn, grain. They're not supposed to be eating soy. I mean, that's bad for you right there. But they'll use soy to fatten them up, which is a whole nother topic. We'll get into soy another day. But that's the kind of chicken that you really want to get. Now, for me, I know that I want the whole chicken. I don't want just the chicken breast. And I do want the skin and I want the thighs. So I'll go off and I'll take the whole chicken, organic. And we're going to get into our recipe now. Here comes the recipe. I'm going to take the whole chicken and I'm going to cut it up with my kitchen shears. I'm going to cut off the thighs. Sometimes I cut the leg off from the thigh. Sometimes I leave them attached. I leave all the skin on. I cut the backbone out. I keep the bag of guts that comes in there, and I'll take the breast part and I'll cut it in half. Then I'm coming up with X number of pieces. I'm going to put them into a large bowl. I'm going to season them up a little bit with some kosher salt, fresh cracked pepper, and maybe some granulated garlic. I mean, you can really use anything you want. Then I'm also going to take all of the, I love to call them guts, but I'm going to take all the guts and I'm going to chop them up really fine. When I do cut up the chicken, if I'm cutting apart the thigh from the leg, I'm rough. I'm not out to get a good cut, leaving whole bones intact. I don't mind the bones getting cut. And here's why. When I go to cook all of these things, I want to extract as much of the goodness of the whole chicken as I possibly can, which is why I'm going to use the guts. I'm going to leave the skin on. If I break the bone, good. Some of that goodness from inside of the bones is going to leach out into the dish that I'm making. The connective tissues are going to be in there. Once again, adding more to my dish. Now, while it's cooking, I will also add in, because neither one of them have any flavor at all, but a great level collagen and a beef gelatin. I add both of those in there. The reason we want to have all this stuff is because historically, our ancestors and people throughout the world, when they would butcher or kill an animal to consume it, they consumed all of it. All we usually consume is the muscle meat. And that's why we're lacking a whole bunch of different nutrients, which you can go into different trainings that I have available to you guys free inside of my Facebook group, the Weight Loss Success Club in Facebook, and see different trainings on this topic. I will address it more in future podcasts also. So now we've got the entire chicken in there, and I'm going to take my pot, and I use a nice heavy duty, Dutch oven kind of a pot, and I will heat it up medium, call it medium, and throw in some refined coconut oil. I use the refined because it's easier on the body to digest than unrefined. And I put the pieces of the chicken inside of the pot. And I don't want to overcrowd it because I want to get them brown. So I'm going to brown them up. Let's say I take half the chicken and I brown it up on both sides. And when I put it in there to brown it up, I want to leave it for a little while. Right? Don't be anxious to move it around. Don't be poking and prodding it. Let it sit there and get some yummy on it. Let it get some brown on it. I'm going to pull them out, put the other ones in there. Same technique. Again, I might have to add a little more coconut oil. You could also use grass-fed ghee. You could use a combination of the two. I usually do. And then I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to put in chopped up onions, chopped up celery, some chopped up root vegetables. I like to use organic on all of these. And I'm going to let them get some browning and some crispies on them. And I'm also going to put into that my chopped up chicken guts. So the liver especially, but liver, heart, gizzard, all that stuff, because I want that in there. And chopped up fine, nobody's even going to know it's there, but it's going to continue to impart some more flavor in there, as well as some richness and goodness for your body. Then I'll put everything back into the pot and I'm going to dump in some booze. I love to dump in my wine, right? If I had a half a bottle of leftover red wine, I'm dumping it in there. I got some white wine left over, I'm dumping it in there. Maybe I'm going to put in one of my signatures is going to be a cream sherry. Maybe I'm going to put in some brandy. Maybe I'll put in a couple shots of vodka. Maybe I drink a couple shots of vodka while I'm making it. I don't know, whatever. But have some fun with it. I mean, you could put in anything that you want. And maybe I'm going to use some orange juice in there. That's going to be good. I already told you I'm going to be adding in my collagens and gelatin and then seasonings. You can add in whatever you want. I like to add in a little bit of coconut aminos in there instead of soy sauce. Those soy sauce can work also. Both of them will add some great flavor. And you'll think, hey, don't worry and say, oh, well, I'm not making an Asian dish. I don't want to put soy sauce in there. We're adding flavors here, guys. Flavors. That's what it's all about. Flavors. Maybe I'm going to put in a mixed up bunch of herbs in there. That works too. Garlic, absolutely. I could put in ginger in there too. I've done that. It's all about creativity. I'll put in some tomato paste in there to thicken things up a little bit. And one of my other umami things I love to put in there is going to be a little shot of anchovy paste. You think, oh, anchovy, what's fish with chicken? You're never even going to taste it. I had this conversation with my wife last night. I told her, she said, what do I need to put in this dish that I'm making? I gave her some different ideas. Add some honey. By the way, put some honey into this dish. Add some sugar. Put some sugar in here if you want. A little brown sugar, a little white sugar, doesn't matter. I said, put in a little bit of anchovy paste. She's like, I can't put anchovy paste. It'll taste like fish. You won't even notice it. How often do you taste anchovy in anything that I cook that you eat? She says, never. I said, well, I always put it in. And she says, well, how do you know it tastes? It just adds an extra layer of flavor, right? But the cool thing is when you're cooking, you don't have to measure everything. Have some fun. I'm putting all this stuff into a pot. I don't have to measure everything. I'll put in as much as I want. And then when I'm done, I taste it. It's always good. It's always great. And if there's something that's not right, taste it, fix it. You want it a little sweeter? Cool, put in a little more honey, a little more sugar. If you want it to be a little more rich, cool, add some butter. You want it to be a little thicker? Cool, take your butter, break it up into cubes, put in some cornstarch, throw it in there, let it boil up a little bit, thicken up. Add some cornstarch slurry with a little bit of water. Great, do that. I like to add some of my homemade chicken stock, homemade beef stock. You put in bone broth. Please get good quality, the highest quality stuff that you could find, or make your own. And we will be talking about that in future podcasts. Also, I'll teach you how to make some bone broth. Once I get this thing going, I'm heating it all up on the stove and I want to bring it to a boil. During this time, I've got the oven on. I like to have it about 325, 350, somewhere in that range for the chicken. And once it gets heated up and the pot's boiling, I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to throw it in the oven. I'm going to leave it in there for an hour. Now, you can, near the end, add in more veggies, or you can just deal with the veggies that are already in there. Totally up to you. When you're doing the veggies, I like to do, like I said, I like to use organic sweet onions, organic carrots. I might use parsnips chopped up in there. I might use some sweet potatoes. I like to use the lighter colored sweet potatoes. They're better for you. The world is your oyster here. You can put whatever you want to put oyster in there, put oyster in there. Who cares? Nobody's going to taste one oyster in there, right? You know, and it might add a flavor. You'd be like, wow, this is good. That's how you learn. That's how you create. That's how you cook. And really, that's just kind of the way to go with it. So when I'm done with it, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to let it sit. And then I'm going to strain the extra fat off of the top. You know, all that fat that's sitting on top, you don't have to have it there. Just strain it off. But don't freak out about it either. It's not going to kill you. If you want a little more richness on it, get some butter in there at the end and, you know, try not to bring it up to a huge boil. But, you know, there you go. You could even strain off some of the veggies, take some of that liquid, put it into another pan, heat that pan up, reduce that down until it thickens up a little bit more, then turn it on to kind of a medium low. And once again, do what I talked about with the butter and take chunks of butter, call it like a centimeter by a centimeter kind of chunk, and roll it around in some cornstarch and just start whisking chunks of that into that sauce. Once it's reduced to where you want it, you're going to have a nice, thick, rich, luscious sauce. If you want to put a little cream in there, a little half and half, you're going to take it to a whole nother level. But it's totally up to you. And what I generally do with this is I just serve it over white rice. I use a rice nowadays called cellulose, something like that. And it's a little bit thicker, and it's a beautiful rice. I love it. And that's generally what I use right there. You can call it a 2 or a 3 pot dish, because one pot is going to be everything you cook the chicken in. If you use another pot to do the sauce, cool, now you got 2 pots and you're going to need some rice. So, put that in a rice cooker. You can call that a 3rd pot. So it can be whatever you want. I mean, you could technically cook the rice in with this, right? So the reality is you've got a recipe that's kind of like a coq au vin, where you do chicken and rice, arroz con pollo, stuff like that, however you want to call it. But the bottom line is that's a great way to do it. And when you start with the top level chickens, the best chickens you could use, and the organic veggies, and don't be afraid to throw a little booze in there for making it up and making some flavor, and then just be creative. And when you do this, when you make this recipe, first off, don't think, Coach Brett, I need recipe. I need to follow detailed instructions. No, you don't. Have some fun. You're not going to screw it up. Okay, it's not going to happen. You screw it up if you put in a quart of salt, right? Or load it all with soy sauce. You don't need to do that. Put in some of everything. In fact, save most of the salt till the end. Taste it. See how it is, right? Taste is everything. When you do this recipe, take pictures of it, serve it up, take a picture of your family, and put it in the Facebook group. Please share it with everybody and share what you did. Once again, you don't have to worry about sharing all the details, but if you're creative, you will come up with different things than I have. And I'd love to hear it. You are creative. You can be creative. Have faith in yourself, just like you're going to have faith in not ever being on a diet. Again, you're going to build up your metabolism from eating like this. You're going to feel better. I've got clients come to me, they say, Coach Brett, I sleep better. Oh my God, I never thought I could sleep through the entire night. I sleep like a baby. It's true. When you have that kind of lifestyle, you're going to love it. And in time, as your metabolism heals, your body will get rid of the fat. It doesn't need it. It'll also get rid of all that toxic dump that we've put into it for all these years or decades, however long it's been. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to end today's podcast of talking chicken and change, body transformation on that note, and tell you, you can do this. You can do anything you want. And if you need help from me, you let me know. I'm happy to have a little conversation with you, and we'll see what happens and where it goes. But the biggest deal is you got to take care of you, because when you take care of you, you will be an awesome person for everybody else, right? I know that most of the people who will be listening to this will be women. Most of my clients are women, and I've trained tens of thousands of women, and I'm going to send this one out just to the women. You take care of us. You take care of your family. You take care of everybody. You put everybody else first. You need to take care of yourself, because you'll do a better job at taking care of everybody else, which will make you happier. Like they say on the airplane, put on your oxygen mask first and then help everybody else. Because if you ace it, if you pass out, if you're not around, you can't take care of anybody. You can't help anybody. But if you are a happier version of you, if you are a healthier version of you, you can influence change on everybody around you. You can take the lead, take care of your family, but you got to take care of yourself first. And I'm here to help you with that. With that being said, Coach Brett Reisenhuber, have a great day, have a healthy life, enjoy your life, and enjoy today. Coach Brett here. I'm out.